According to the Chicago Police Department, there have been more than 10,000 complaints on police brutality from the years 2002 to 2004, of which only 2% result in some kind of disciplinary action. Chicago attorney Kurt Foyer of Levy & Levy spoke with us about what he calls an epidemic of civil abuse.
We have more cases than we can take at this little firm of that nature. So, despite the tens of millions of dollars that are paid out every year by the city of Chicago for police brutality, it hasn't stopped. And my own theory about that is that the police department and the politicians at the top really don't want to put a stop to it. I think there's this mentality that to do the job they have to do, police have to be allowed to instill fear in.
In a report by Craig B. Futterman of the University of Chicago Law School, he stated that a small percentage of the force is responsible for most of the citizens' complaints. Between the years of 2001 and 2006, over 10,000 Chicago police officers were accused by citizens of police brutality. More than 600 of them accused more than 10 times each.
Like, who are these guys? Why are they still on force? It's kind of like where there's smoke, there's fire, all these people can't be lying.
One of them is former Lieutenant John Burge, accused by the People's Law Office of being involved in the torture of 65 people suspected of committing crimes, tortured into confessions that sent many of them to prison after wrongful convictions. One of these suspects was Leroy Orange. He was on death row for 19 years. Listen to his attorney, Flint Taylor.
I think you all should know what happened to this man. This man was tortured by John Burge with electric shock from a black box, and electricity shot through his body at various points in his body. He had a bag put over his head, and he was suffocated, and he was tortured for many hours into giving a false confession. He then went to prison for 19 years, 14 of them on death row for crimes that he did not commit.
In 1984, Orange confessed to murdering 4 people as a result of Burge's torture. Orange fought his conviction all the way to the Supreme Court, but could not get the conviction reversed, until Governor George Ryan pardoned him from death row in 2003. Foyer believes cases against police are long and hard.
The prosecutors rely on the police to make their cases. They don't want to alienate the police. They want to be on good terms with the police. They don't want to go after the police for wrongdoing. So, you've got the prosecutors covering for the police, and then you've got the judges covering for the prosecutors.
This year, the city of Chicago paid out over $19 million for the torture and unfair imprisonment of Orange and 4 other men as a result of Burge's torture. But more than money, Orange's life has changed forever.
I still think I'm going to cringe or feel strange when I'm walking down the street and some policeman look at me and give me that look like they want to stop because I'm African American. I'm still going to have dreams. I'm still going to have anxieties, but I don't want to have anxieties. I don't think there'll ever be complete closure.
The pain he feels may never heal, and the battle to fight police brutality still goes on.